And just like that, you are ready to sell your resources online. You have 2 accounts that you can use to make some extra money as a teacher. Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Kayla and I am a teacher turned teacherpreneur, so someone who likes to make some extra money on the side using my teaching resources to help me do that. And I'm here to help you do the same. In today's video, what I'm going to be doing is actually going into Teachers Pay Teachers and TES, which is the British equivalent, and I'm going to show you exactly how to make yourself a seller's account to get you started on your journey. I'm going to make it super simple, step by step, so you miss nothing and you know exactly what to do and you don't get stuck along the way. So with that in mind, let's hop right in and I'm going to do a tutorial for you now about how to get logged on to Teachers Pay Teachers, followed by TES. If you are not interested in signing up to both, you can just use the chapters along the bottom there to go to the part that you are interested in learning about. Okay then, so I've come onto the sign up page on Teachers Pay Teachers now so we can make a new account. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do this from scratch. So as you can see here, when we go onto the join button, so when you go on to Teachers Pay Teachers, you can see the join button here and we've got 3 options. Now what we are going to do is we are going to go onto the basic seller account. That's the one that we want to join up to now. Now if you want to actually join as a teacher who just wants to buy resources or download free resources, you can just get a generic Teachers Pay Teachers membership. But when you have the basic seller account, you can do everything from the normal TPT membership, plus you can sell your own things and have your own shop. You can collect data on that, you can do all of that amazing stuff. So if I just pop myself over here a second, and we're going to go on to join now. So let's click onto this and see what happens. Okay then, so we've gone onto the page where we can actually create a basic seller account. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fill this in, and it's probably going to try and autofill on me, but I'm going to try and make a new account, a brand new one, so you can see what it looks like if you are a brand new seller who has never had an account before. So what I'm going to do is in the email address box, I've made just a random Gmail account that I can use to show you this. So I'm going to fill that in. Now that is Maple Teaching. Maple is my cat. Love her. Plus TPT. Oh, TPT. So I know which one this is. And then at gmail.com. Right then. So I'm going to put that same thing into here. And I'm going to fill in my name, so Kayla, and right, okay, and then I have to pick myself a password, and on Teachers Pay Teachers, this is different to TES, you'll see that later on in the video. You have to fill in which grade range you actually teach and where you are teaching. Now none of this matters, it doesn't matter where in the world you are a teacher, you can still join. So I'm just going to make up a random password. Okay, that'll do. And then I'm going to put in here, so you see you can actually say that you're not a teacher, because there are people who sell on Teachers Pay Teachers who are not actually teachers. They are more business minded people who are actually doing things to help teachers sell their resources. You can buy resources like that on Teachers Pay Teachers, and you might also have people who you have got homeschooler, you've got adult education, there's all sorts of categories. I'm going to go ahead and click high school because that is the grade that I teach. And for me, I'm going to put my subject area. I am interested in science, but you've got other things there. You could also put, if you are a primary or an elementary school teacher, that you teach many subjects, so you're not interested in just one. You might be teaching maths, English, science on a daily basis. But for me, I'm going to pop and put science, and then for my country, I'm going to put the United Kingdom. Personally, you do get some useful emails from Teachers Pay Teachers, information about things like when the sale is happening, so you might actually want to tick this box because you do get some useful things. And then I am not a robot. Wonderful. Okay, let's go on to the next page, and we have a little bit more information to fill in. Okay then, so when you've gone onto that, you can now see that we've gone into a new page where we have to add in a bit extra information in order to become a seller on Teachers Pay Teachers. So what I'm going to do then is I'm not going to show you all my personal information because that wouldn't be very sensible. So you will just skip ahead now to the next bit where we have actually already filled all that in and moved on, but you can do that anyway. So let's do that then. Right then, so I filled in all my information, my personal information here, and I can go ahead now and click register. Okay then, so we are now into our welcome page on Teachers Pay Teachers, and what we'll be able to see here is a quick tour of how to go through this. You can do this, it doesn't really show you that much, but if you want to, you can. So we can see you've got your store details, and it tells you what you can get in there. We'll talk about school access another time, I think, but yeah. Okay, so you can also find your dashboard. Now, this is actually really, really helpful. This tells you how many sales you've had, how many views you've had, how much or what percentage have you converted views into sales. Really, really useful information. So you can see earnings and you can change the sort of timescale. You can do it for your entire store, or you can just do it for certain actual resources if you don't want to look at all of them, because you might want to just focus on one thing that you're trying to improve. Okay, we can also see marketplace traffic sources. This is a useful spot actually. Let me just move myself over here again. So when you go into traffic, you can actually see where it comes from. Now you'll find that the majority of it does come from Teachers Pay Teachers. However, if you have an Instagram account and you like to share things on there, like a link in your bio, and it sends people to Teachers Pay Teachers, it will tell you how many people are coming from your Instagram. It will also then tell you if they bought anything when they did. So that's really useful information. For me, I've got my blog linked to my Teachers Pay Teachers store as well, so I will be sharing on my blog strategies for teaching, and then what I will do is I will link appropriate activities for that strategy that I sell on my blog, so then if somebody goes through there onto my Teachers Pay Teachers and buys something, well then I can see that obviously my blog worked, so it's really useful. Excuse me. Another place that you can see information from is Pinterest. So you might want to make pins, you might not want to. It's totally up to you. But anyway, you decide to share your resources. If somebody has found it and made their way to your Teachers Pay Teachers account from that source, you'll be able to see it here. And again, you can change if it was this week, this month, this quarter, you can change the times. That's absolutely fine. Okay then, and then next we can see how to market our store, and I'll teach you more about all of this stuff because this is a little bit that you can do on Teachers Pay Teachers itself, but I've got loads of other strategies that I'm going to be sharing with you, so please don't worry too much about marketing for the moment. But you can do things like throw a sale, you can submit your resource for consideration to be put in the newsletter, which is very exciting. I've never had that done myself, but I haven't really applied much either, so it's not something I've really put all my eggs into that basket, but we can talk about it. You can actually pay to promote resources, which I've never done. I haven't really seen the need to. And you can customize your store by uploading banners. Now, I'm going to show you all about how to do this in a great program called Canva. Now, if you've done anything in the online space in terms of marketing or social media, you've probably heard of Canva, but I will go through how to make it the correct sizes and how to then upload it into your Teachers Pay Teachers store. And I've got mine, so it's like a moving image, like an animation, and I can show you how to do that as well. Now, the TPT University is a really useful resource. I would recommend checking that out when you get a chance. They sort of give you, there's blog posts, there's guidance in there for how to grow as a teacher author and to have success. So it is something that I would say is worthwhile looking at if you get the opportunity. It is not the be all and end all of everything though. You can still make sales without having looked at it. All right then, so we are all done. We are in Teachers Pay Teachers, we have an account, we are logged on, and we can now see what it looks like. So let's go through. Now what you can see up here is I've got 0 followers at the moment because I've just made this brand new account. I've got no photo. School access is something I'll talk about later, and what you can get here, which is quite useful, and I put this a lot into my Instagram or into my blog posts and things like that, is you can get a link and you can copy it to your clipboard, and it will, if somebody clicks on that, it automatically makes them follow you if they've got a Teachers Pay Teachers account, which is quite useful. All right, so we can see on the dashboard now we've got no sales, which is what we expect. We can change all the category of what we're seeing. So like I said, conversions, we can change it to views, how many views did we get? And again, we can change it by product. So I can search through when I've got products in here and see which one is getting the most views, which one isn't. So then I can go and tweak it. Views, units sold. Oh yeah, you can make videos, so like little preview videos now on Teachers Pay Teachers, which is quite nice, and they pop up a lot on the app. So if you're using the app, then that is the first thing you'll see when you click onto a resource is the video if they have one. And so it's quite an engaging way of getting people to look at your resource and get an idea of what it's about before they spend the money on it. So worthwhile making those once you get to that point. And this tells you how many plays of each video you've had. Easel is a whole other thing. I'm probably going to have to do a whole lesson on easel, but we'll get there, don't worry. Okay then, so you've got all sorts to look through here. You've got a whole menu, and I'm in the way again, so let me just go down here. We've got a whole menu of things that we can see here. We can go to our store, obviously it's empty at the moment. We can add a new product, we can have a look at our product listings individually, we can have a look at our sales reports once we've got sales, we can look at product statistics. This is a really, really useful tool, and I will teach you how to use that as well. You can send a note to your followers when you have them, and you can do it once a week, and I do recommend doing it because I do find that people do go and have a look at my store from there. And there is a whole forum where it's a bit of a rabbit hole, you can get lost down there, so please don't waste loads of time. But I did find it in the early days quite nice to kind of have a community to go and talk to and say, hey, could you look at my store? I feel like I need a bit of advice on what to do. And a lot of teachers on there were saying to me, you've got too many free resources. Do not give away all your stuff for free, which is what I was doing because I kind of felt a bit like, who am I to ask somebody to pay for what I've made? But that's a mindset we need to get away from, which we're going to do, so don't worry. Okay then, and yeah, so all sorts of things we can do in here, but not a lot we can do at the moment because we don't have anything. So my store is here, it's boring and empty at the moment. We're going to change that and we can make it look beautiful. This is a space that we can, it says add a quote, but you can put an image or a video in there and that's way more engaging. So I recommend that you do that. And then what we can also have, which you can't see at the moment, is like the top section will be your featured listings. These are the things that you want to sell. I have my bundles up there so that the first thing that someone sees. You can also have another banner there, which is a clickable link. So you could have a banner saying like, hey, I've got new resources available for such and such. And when they click it, it takes them straight to that resource. So really useful. You could have a brand new bundle that you want to share or a seasonal resource. So people change those quite frequently. Sometimes people change them when they have a sale on. So they'll have like a 25% off banner, things like that. Although in my first year of selling, I put on a banner for a sale and I forgot to take it off. It was up there for about 6 months after the sale because I totally forgot to change my banner again. So one thing to bear in mind, have a generic banner that you want to have up most of the time. So it's easy just to flip back into. So one thing to think about. Okay, so I think that's enough for Teachers Pay Teachers for the moment. What we're going to do now is going to go and head into TES, and I'm going to teach you about how to make an account there. So again, it's pretty easy. In fact, it's easier than Teachers Pay Teachers, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. In the UK, it's quite a prominent platform because not only do you sell and buy and download resources on there, it also has a lot of information about jobs. So it has a lot of job adverts on there. A lot of schools will use TES to advertise their jobs. And this is something that is growing into actually more teachers and more jobs across the whole world. So I've seen jobs advertised here for Australia and New Zealand, parts of Europe, even parts of America I've seen adverts on there for now because it's becoming quite prolific for that. But we are not going to bother with that today. We are going to make our account. And actually, you haven't got to change your account to become a seller one. Just registering for TES automatically makes you a seller account. So I'm going to put my email address in here again. Gmail.com. And then I need to make a username and a password. One thing to bear in mind, didn't realize this at the start, when you make your username, I don't think you can change it. So maybe pick something that you're happy with because I know I wasn't very happy with mine. When I made it, I was just starting out as a teacher because I just wanted to find jobs and resources and things. I was in my teacher training. I wasn't even thinking about selling resources at that point in time. So when I went to make resources to sell, I already had this account. I had actually uploaded something for free, like at the end of my training year, and I had over 1,000 downloads of it. It was just a free, simple worksheet. And I thought, oh my gosh, like over 1,000 people have downloaded this, and I had positive reviews, and I was like, maybe I could do something with this. So that's kind of what inspired me to become a teacher author in the first place. But that's another story. So, but however, I can't change my username, which is really frustrating because now I have this account with all these reviews and all these like downloads and views and everything, and I couldn't change it, and it just seemed a bit unprofessional. So annoying, but lesson learned. So let's make sure we pick something that's actually relevant. So for this one, because this is just like my dummy account that I'm making to show you guys, I'm just going to call it Maple Teaching Science. Let's call it that. Okay, and then I need to make a password. So I'm going to make my password. And I confirm that I'm 18 years or older. And I don't think... You can tick that if you want to. I don't think I do. Okay. Oh, okay, I can't have any spaces. So what I'll do is I'll go underscore. You can tell it's been a while, right? Okay. Right. I confirm. Register. All right then, so now I've done that, I have I've logged in, I've registered for an account, and you can see that it's actually sending us an email verification, which we didn't have with Teachers Pay Teachers. So I'm going to go ahead and verify my email so that I can actually get into the actual platform to show you it. So I'll see you there. All right then, so we are in the TES sort of platform now. We have logged in, we've verified our email. Awesome. Let's have a little look around then, shall we? So this automatically tells me that I don't have any teaching resources uploaded yet because, like I said, it automatically makes you an account as a seller and as a buyer. Now, what you can do is you can see here it says our author dashboard. Now, if you go up to the little picture of a person up here, that is like your main navigation menu to go through and look for other things to do with your account, so you can change your settings and things in there. But we are really interested in the author dashboard. That is going to be where we can see information about our sales, we can see how many views we've had, how many downloads we've had, and all that sort of good stuff. You've got a few other things here. You've got the button for adding a resource. I'm going to show you how to do that, so don't worry. We can look at our resources here, and this is actually new. So when you click on resource management now, it actually tells you how many times that resource has sold and how much money that's worth. So if you've sold this resource, it's £2, you sold it 5 times, you made £10 off this resource. So it kind of just breaks it down for you with the views and the sales and the sale value, which is quite nice because that never used to be there before. And so you didn't really have an easy way of tracking an individual resource to see how well it was performing, which is a bit annoying. So that is a good thing. We like that. So you can see in here, if you've got any reviews on your store, you can see them there. Sales is just like a list of all the things that you've sold, and it's done chronologically. So you can just see all the resources that you've sold, starting with the most recent. My promotions is where you can run a sale, similar to how you could do it in Teachers Pay Teachers. You can run your own sales, and you can sort of select how much you want it to be off your store. Is it going to be 10%, 15%? And all those sorts of things. And then you can go into my shop, that is to take you to your actual store so you can see. Analytics doesn't work, hasn't worked for a long time. I don't really know why. I've asked the people at TES and they've not got back to me. They've said it's like an ongoing issue. I don't know. Maybe it'll come back one day. And then the Author Academy is a bit like Teachers Pay Teachers University. So I told you earlier about how TPT University is there to help teacher authors. The Author Academy on TES is similar, and it tells you things on there about how to sort of promote your store, how to make sure it's looking really good, how to make sure you're selling things in the right way. So in terms of copyright and things like that, it's got some good information there. I did use it when I first started. Now you can see over here, we've got this thing called Bronze Seller. Now that is your current tier level, and everybody starts off here. So if I click find out more, and it brings us to this lovely little table. Now this is telling us how much you make for every sale in terms of the royalties. I don't think TES is as good as Teachers Pay Teachers, but for this, because it seems quite low, but then also you can actually pay to upgrade it on TPT, which I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know. It is what it is.
So when you're a bronze seller, you automatically get 60% royalties on anything you sell. However, if you look here, it says there's a transaction fee on sales below £3 or $3. This is a very good reason to make your resources a little bit more expensive if you can, through adding value, not just charging too much for something that shouldn't be charged that much, but if you can get it over that $3 threshold or £3 threshold, you're not going to get that 20p transaction fee every time. So it's something worth considering. Okay, now you can see here that you are a bronze seller if you have sold anywhere between 0 and $999 or pounds, 99p, in the last 12 months. And if we can go up to silver, we have to have made between £1,000 and £6,000, and then gold is when you've earned above £6,000. And you can see that your royalties goes up, but this transaction fee stays the same. So no matter what level or what tier you're on, in terms of how much royalties you're making, you probably still want to make sure that your resource is worth more than £3. Now, I'm probably not the best for this because I have lots of resources which are less than that, but I don't know. I sell like little mind maps and things and they sell really well, so I think it's worth it. Okay, so that is basically TES. Now you can see when I've gone onto this author royalties section, it's actually given me a different menu on the side here. So to get back to our author dashboard, I need to click here. I can also add a resource from here, and I can see things that I've downloaded myself that I have downloaded for my own classroom. So this is quite useful if you had downloaded something for free and then you forgot where you put it. You can go back there and just find it and re-download it again. So that's quite nice. All right then. So that is TES in a nutshell. We have now made our TES account and our Teachers Pay Teachers account, and we are ready to start selling our resources online.
If you've made it this far into the video, then congratulations on getting yourself set up as a teacher seller who has the ability to make extra income for their family and for them to help improve your income and your lives. I'll see you in the next video where I'll be teaching you about how to upload those resources and the kinds of equipment that you need. If this is something you are interested in learning more about, then please hit the subscribe button and make sure that you stick around to learn more about this. In addition to this, I also have a free ebook that you are very welcome to download. It is linked in the description below, so go and check that out and you can sign up and you'll get lots of extra tips and tricks on how to become a teacher author, all for free.